my friends, and welcome to the live stream. It's good to have you here. Welcome along. Hello. Am I coming out of the right microphone? Good. I've been possessed by the spirit of Matt Berry again. Hello, and welcome. Welcome along. How are we all doing? PDF has been rotated and is brought to you tonight in glorious HD. Hello to the things. It is lovely to have you in the chat. Hey, Iris Miller, it's your first live stream. Welcome along. How's it going? Tonight, we are doing dueling live streams with the Trash Future crew. Time to show them how it's done. Welcome along. Good to have you here. Hey, extra double special welcome to you. If it is your first time on the stream, let me lay down the ground rules for you. We like the live streams to be a chill place. We like them to be relaxed. We like the chat to be a nice place, so keep it cool if it's your first time. If there are any super chats over the course of the evening, I always do my best to shout them out. If you super chat me a question, then it's probably a good idea to keep it as a short one, because otherwise I won't be able to respond to it in time, because the chat does tend to move rather quickly. The other thing that we like to do on the live stream is we like to start by lighting a candle. Don't know why I was Snape there. Doing all the voices tonight. Here we go. Candles at the ready, crew. If you're lighting your own candle, please remember to be safe. I am not responsible for any fires. Right, let's try that again. There we go. Whoop. Tonight's candle is French pear, mint, and pomegranate. Doesn't smell like any of those things, but does smell nice. Yes! I am broadcasting from the Sparkle Dimension, as you can see, in Philosophy Tube headquarters. The portal to the Sparkle Dimension is located within my office, and I step through there through a magical... I draw a door on the wall in chalk, and then I jump through into the Sparkle Dimension. It's also where my microphone is. I keep it all there. So, yes. Welcome. It's good to have you here. So, what we normally like to do on the live streams is we go over the last video that I made. However, the final episode of 2020 Philosophy Tube has not come out yet. It will be coming out on the 18th of December publicly. If you are a $15 patron, then you can see it already. If you're on my Patreon, then you'll be able to see it early. But I am basically taking 2 weeks off, so I can chill. My next video is going to be out probably late January. So I thought I'd go November and then like a month and a half, rather than like November and then 2 months and like not have anything. I thought that if I just like stretched it by a couple of weeks, then I'd have a bit more kind of the algorithm would be like, wait, what are you doing? Oh, okay. Rather than like send him down. Dracula writes, says Kieran C. Thank you very much for that super chat, for being the first super chat of the evening. Yes. So my next episode will be out on the 18th. So, what are we going to stream about tonight? Well, I thought we would do the 2020 recap stream. And also, I'll give you a little sneaky peek of the next episode. I'm not going to play any of it, but like, I'll show you some bits of it. The 2020 recap stream, I'll talk about all the videos that I made, and you can tell me like what your favorites were. I'll talk about what my favorites were, and like which ones I would have liked to do better, and like which ones I thought like not very good. Yes, then we'll that's what we'll do. We'll hang out, we'll chill, we'll talk about the last year of Philosophy Tube. I'll talk about the stuff I've done, not just the videos, but also like the charity stuff I've done this year, and like things that I've enjoyed doing outside of YouTube, I guess. I'll talk a little bit like the behind the scenes stuff. Yes, I am wearing my streaming hoodie. This is not a Maison Margiela £500 hoodie. It is a cheap knockoff I got at H&M for 11 quid, but it's my streaming hoodie, and it's very cozy. I like it. It also smells really good. I got some really nice you put it in laundry. It's like fabric conditioner. That's what I got. It smells really good. So I'm like, beautiful. Mylar, thank you for that super chat as well. That's cool. Oh yeah, the reason I'm doing the the stream is caffeinated because I had some Diet Coke. I was feeling a bit like before I streamed, so I was like, next some Coke. And I've got some sweets as well because it's the final stream of the year. So I thought, why not? So yes, who do you think will be Time Person of the Year? Asks Ruan. I'm hoping it's going to be me. It's never been me before, or if it is me, they always print the wrong picture and name. But I'm hoping it's going to be me. If it's not me, then I'm like Harris Bomber Guy. I think would be a good choice as well. So yes. We'll talk about the year in tube, the philosophies that have come down the tube this year. So let's jump right into it. Let's crack open some Smarties as well. I don't know if you have this in other countries, but in the UK, Smarties tubes are hexagonal, and they have a letter riddle on the top. Quem98 says, which video of this year are you most proud of and why? That's the whole stream. That's what this whole stream is about. Like, you're welcome. Sit back and relax, and we'll decide that as we go along. What F keeps your food cold? Is the thing on the top of the Smarties, and the answer, I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about this as I answer this question. Eli Powers, your hair is glorious. Do you use any specific products to keep it spot on? I've got some styling product with me, but mainly it's like I just haven't had a haircut in 4 months because of lockdown, but I am finally getting a haircut on Saturday. So the reason that I am doing this stream now is because I'm going home. I'm going back to the north soon, and I'm not going to have my streaming rig here. So I'm doing this like end of year stream now before the final episode comes out, rather than later on. Hey, Mia's in the chat. Welcome along. So I use this Aveda Light Elements texturizing cream to I put it in just to style my hair, which is pretty unstylable at this point. So that's what I do, and also like I condition it and stuff. But anyway, yeah, haircut on Saturday, and then the final episode of Philosophy Tube Season 2 will be coming out on the 18th, and we'll talk about that later. But first, Smarties. I'll try not to eat on the mic. Thanks for that super chat, Benjamin Morrison. Cool. So, ooh, my mouse is stuck. There we go. So, let's jump right in to the windows. What window am I in? I'm in here. Okay. Here we go. So, let's scroll down slightly. Let's go back to the start of the year. What did we start with? We started with Data. Lieutenant Commander Data. That's the one that we started with. It was this one here. You can see it at the bottom of the middle. What do I think about Data? Okay, so Data, if you remember, was a short film. I'm getting an ad on my own channel. Damn, I should have put ad block on. Never do this, but I'm going to skip it. So Data, I took a chance with Data. I did something new. I wanted to start off doing something new with the year. Oh, hang on a minute. Let me just move myself. Boop, up here. Thanks for that super chat, Corey Brown. I'm not going to donate my hair. No, you'll see what I'm doing with my hair. So I took a chance with Data, and I made a short film. So I wanted to start the year by doing something different, something like weird that no one had done before. I thought, just kind of flex. I had a pretty rough Christmas, December was a rough year for me. December was a rough year. Well, it felt like that. December was a rough month for me, 2019, for some personal reasons. So I thought, go on, I'll do something weird and out there just to see what will happen. And it came together quite well. Incidentally, those are not my legs. That's the legs of my friend Mr. X, who does the camera work. The camera was in my hands for that shot. But here's me and me. So we made this short film about a guy arguing with a bouncer. Thank you for that super chat. I can't pronounce that name, I'm afraid. And also Bjorn Lemmers. So yeah, I read an amazing book about surveillance and technology over the holidays, and I decided to make that into data. And I was pretty pleased with it. I had this idea in my head. I often do this with videos, is I had an idea in my head of something quite specific and weird that was hard to explain. Like, if you remember, there's these two people having a conversation, and then the time resets every 20 seconds. And I thought, this is kind of a weird, it was hard to explain, and when I explained it to people, they were like, I don't really understand what you mean. But then it came together in the editing and it worked, so I was like, damn, I like it. What was the idea behind using a hammer, says someone in the chat? Because when all you have is a hammer, when the only tool you have is a hammer, all your problems look like nails, is the idea. I think it even says that underneath the video in the description. There you go. It's a comment on technology. So yeah, it's fun. It was really, really fun. I think it came together pretty well. It was hard to film data. It was a long night. Acting wise, I don't think my performance was all that great, but like, you know, decent enough. I don't know why I decided to use a hat. I just did. I just wanted to use a hat, so I did. But yeah, it was good. It came together pretty well. Actually, a friend of mine, a close friend of mine who's a journalist, recently said to me that data was his favorite of the year, his favorite of my videos of the whole year. And I was like, oh, why? And he said it's the only one that doesn't end on a happy note. And that's why he likes it. He was like, it ends on like a realistic note that is neither optimistic nor pessimistic. When Ellis just says, I don't want to think. He says that's like a really powerful note to end on. And so it came together pretty well, I thought. And when I thought of the time rewinding mechanic, I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. So thanks, Mia, it's a good hat. Oh, I forgot to tell people the Smarty Riddle. What F keeps your food cold? Fuck off. Don't know why it says that. Oh well. Anyway, fridge, obviously. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this one. I don't think it's my favorite of the year, but I took a chance. I did something different, and it worked well. I thought, you know, it paid off. I wouldn't say it's one that like, I wouldn't say it's like a good first video of mine to watch, because it is something a bit different. But I like as you will see next year, I like starting off the year with a video that people don't expect. It's something that is like a bit different. I feel like January is a good time to like flex the artistic muscles and be like, oh yeah, let's thanks for that super chat, legs fall off girl, to try something a bit different, to like mess with the format a bit. So I did, as I was writing just a bog standard script for data, I realized that a normal Philosophy Tube episode about these issues would be about 9 hours long and really boring. So I came up with this time mechanic idea and turned it into a film. So like, and you get all the information in a very short amount of time. And a while ago, actually, I asked teachers. I said, which one of my videos do you use in class? Because I know that sometimes teachers do show my stuff in classes. And a surprising number of people said data, actually. And I was like, oh, okay. That was kind of cool. So, yeah. This video came out this year, yes. It was my first video. This was January. It's January 31st. This came out. So, yeah, you're going to see which artistic muscles I'm flexing next January. So yeah, that was Data. A solid start to the year, I feel. It was good fun to have all the extras in the background as well. As you can see, Alice Quinrose in the background there. So what came next? What was next? Oh. Next was artists and fandoms. So there was a bit of a gap there because this one came out in March, mid-March. What a face. Yeah, so this one I set myself a challenge with. I wanted to film on locations. Yeah, I wanted to film in like various locations. I wanted to do a little bit of filming. Thank you very much for Buffalo Knives. I don't know anything about terror management theory, I'm afraid. Thank you for Legs Fall Off Girl again. So artists and fandoms, I wanted to film in multiple locations. That was the challenge I set myself. So I got this location with all the animals, and I did some filming outside Shakespeare's Globe. That was fun. And I also filmed in Times Square. That was kind of cool. I happened to be in New York in February for Lindsay Ellis's birthday. So I did some filming in Times Square. I don't know why I went with that shirt and tie combo. I look like a right prick there. But there was also all this stuff about parasocial relationships, which ended up being very important. Ooh, that's weird. And then this section at the end, weird, about what is that? Oh, that's Hades Town. A section at the end all about the time I got like massively cancelled a few months before. So yeah, artists and fandoms, I think it came together well. This one was a very hard one to shoot because I did all the filming in this location with all the animals, and then the card was corrupted and I lost all the footage. So that's why this episode was late, actually, is because I had to go back and refilm all of these bits all on the couch. I had to pay to go and basically hire the whole space again and reshoot the whole thing. So yeah, that was kind of a pain in the ass, but it came together well, and that gave me the opportunity to go back and like rewrite it and also add that bit on at the end. And there were some like really nice looking shots in this. So this whole sequence with the butterfly room, not quite sure what that costume's all about, but this at least came together well. Oh, and Scutch had some really good illustrations. Scutch did some great art for this one. So like I think it's certainly like the aesthetic was people want me to bring back what was the joke I did about Bernini Sanders, Bernini for president? Thanks for that super chat, Chris Godwin. What was it? Like every Roman deserves the right to like access marble statuary or something, and BerniniForPresident.com. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what the joke was. You'll have to go back and watch it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is my favorite video. I think I prefer Data to this one so far, because I wasn't really saying a whole lot in this one that was new. There was some nice stuff about like acting and theatre that I like. It's kind of like my passion, the kind of David Mamet stuff. But all the stuff about parasocial relationships, that's what people like really remember from this video, and that stuff like Shannon Strucci did all that. That's all been done. You know what I like to do with videos is make something that no one else has ever made or no one else has ever thought of. So oh, someone in the chat just reminded me that, what is it? It's like 99% of Roman kids have never even seen a crucifixion. Bernini would have won. So yeah, all the stuff about parasocial relationships is what people remember about this one. And Shannon Strucci's already done all of that. I was really just kind of like, I even like name checked her in the video. I talked about how much of an inspiration she was. So people remember that stuff. Also, there's like the whole final section of the video is me talking about like, here's a real life thing that happened to me. Like this is what not to do. Like this is why, this is like a time that I got mega cancelled, and like this is how people got it wrong, and this is what happened. And people have not learned. They have not learned from that experience at all. They just don't. Thank you, Alex Emery, for that super chat. Who's your favourite philosopher to dunk on? All of them. That's the whole show. But yeah, people that have not learned from this video at all. Occasionally, I just want to be like, "Hey, go watch that video. Go watch it again." Because people will try and cancel me again, and I'm just like, "Go check it out." But at least in terms of the look, I think this one had a nicer look than Data did. It was easier on the eyes, but I don't know if it was better in terms of content. So that's 2 down. Before we move on to a third, before we talk about, oh wow, Beauty and Ugly Times was after that. Wow, was it really? Bloody hell, really got on. Before we move on, I have some questions from patrons. So if you are a high enough patron on my channel, on my Patreon, then you get to ask me some questions that I answer on live streams. So Jade asks, I wish I had someone with whom I could share blank. And, I don't know, a cup of tea? Thank you for that super chat, Brandon Riling. I do think material conditions should be discussed in an ethics class. I mean, well, I don't know, it depends what you mean by material conditions, but my tentative answer is yes. But anyway, Jade asks, I wish I had someone with whom I could share blank. A cat. That's what I wish. I wish I had a cat. I just wish I had a cat. I don't need a person with whom I could share a cat. I wish I had a cat. If I move flats again next year, then I may well get one. And Haley asks, is hope necessary? Are there good philosophical arguments for continuing to pursue the good in the total absence of hope that you might succeed? Camus is the philosopher you want. My opinion is yes. There is, but Camus. Yeah, I would go ahead and read Camus. Yeah. Gene Sargent asks what kind of acting techniques I used in my abortion video. That's technically cheating because that was 2019. But I use a pretty mixed bag when I act. I do a lot of Michael Chekhov technique. I do a lot of that because that's good fun. There was a fair bit of that with Tom Gently, I think. Other than that, it's all in the vowels. Bigfoot Shaley says, in your own words, how would you define cancelling? I have my own operational definition of this, which is that if I am getting death threats or suicide encouragement, if something I do blows up enough that I'm getting death threats and suicide encouragement, then I'm like, right, I'm drawing a line under that and I'm never engaging with this again. I'm like not talking about it. I'm not, no, like this is now like quarantined off in my brain. Not touching it again. Thank you, Crimson Firewheel, for that super chat. I'll try and eat off the mic, sorry. I'm just enjoying these Smarties so much. Alright, let's jump back into it. So what came next? Oh, it was Beauty and Ugly Times. Wow. So this one was a challenge. This one was hard. I would not say, oh, how Brown Girl Jane built a 6-figure per month wellness brand online. Well, good for her. So this one was really hard because lockdown happened and my usual studio closed. So I had to film this one entirely in my flat. Like we were in lockdown 1 and I had to film it all myself, like no help. For the first time in quite a while, which is why the lighting in this particular shot isn't very good. And that background is actually my bed sheets. I am actually just talking in front of my bed sheets there. Made the costume all myself as well. That's why the lighting in these sections is like way too blown out, because I filmed it all. I filmed it all on. Yeah, I filmed this in my old bedroom before I moved. Oh, and Lily did some animations for this one. That came together really well. I don't think this one's my fave. I think the script. Well, it was. I've got to go easy on myself because it was made during the pandemic, and it was the first one made during lockdown. So everyone was like kind of sort of pretty stricken by it, and I was like, God, I just got to make a video. And it's kind of a little cheesy to make a video about how hard it is to make a video, but I think I did it in a reasonably good way. I think the script is a little disconnected. It feels like, 2 or 3 videos Frankenstein together, and that's okay. Like, I think, it's very raw. I think it probably needed a little bit of refinement. Yeah, and also it was also like me dealing with some personal stuff as well. Like I mentioned that the December 2019 was like a rough month for me personally. Like this video was kind of me sort of dealing with that in a way, and also COVID. Do you think the experience of quarantine and COVID-19 have majorly changed who you are as a creator? I don't know. Yes and no. It's hard to say really. I think it definitely shook me up in a way that was good. Like creatively shook me up. Gave me a kick in the ass. And I think Darwin versus Marx, which we'll get to, was like a good one. Thank you, Cheyenne Valen, who says that this one meant a lot to them. Yeah, I can see how it meant a lot to people. Like, but I think it's like as a video essay, I don't think it's like very good, like structurally and content wise. I think it's like a product of its time. Like it's okay, and it's. I'm pleased that I made it. At the edge of the world, his journey begins. I'm pleased that I made it during lockdown. It is quite an achievement to have made this during lockdown, and to have made it by hand, like on my own. I've got to give myself a little bit of credit there. But I think, and also the ending song from Nina is banging. We'll Gather Lilacs in the Spring Again is really good. It's always been one of my favorite wartime songs. But I just don't think it's like a very good video essay. I think I don't think this one will age as well. I think that by this time next year, when COVID's over, it'll all be over by Christmas. I think this one won't age spectacularly well. I don't think people will go back to it. So yeah, I wouldn't say this one's my fave. But if you liked it, I'm not going to say you're wrong. It did well in terms of views, which I'm surprised at. It also premiered. I just saw that. It premiered on my birthday, so I had my birthday in quarantine. And Luke from Haute La Mode was in it as well. So yeah. And I'm proud that I managed to make a video about Lolita and Arda that didn't get demonetized. I was like so certain it was going to be, and then it wasn't. So yeah. People in the chat are saying it's like a time capsule. It is. It's a very like pandemic video. I think. Is there even a screen at the start that says this video was made during the lockdown? It was. This video was supposed to be about the definition of beauty, looking at 2 novels by Vladimir Nabokov, Lolita and Arda. And then what did I say? I tried a video that wasn't about. Yeah. So it was kind of about like the failure to make anything else. So yeah, I think it was okay. And I think it's an achievement that I made, like anything really. Yeah. So alright, kudos to that. But then we come to anti-Semitism and analysis. It's my most viewed video of the year, like just so far. There's still time for my next one to go viral. But yes, there he is. It's man himself. So yeah, this one. I am proud of this one. So I'll tell you something that happened. Not long after this video came out, I got an email from a lady in Pittsburgh who said, I work at the Tree of Life synagogue where that massive shooting happened. She said, I work there. And she said, thank you, George A. Kasamis, for that super chat. She said, I just want to say thank you to you for making this video, because no one else had done it, and it's just really good to see people talking about anti-Semitism on the left. I am proud of this one. I'm proud that I made this one during lockdown, and also in this one. So the reason I'm not mad about Beauty and Ugly Times is because in Beauty and Ugly Times I'm like fighting against the pandemicness, like fighting against the constraints. In this one, I absorbed the constraints and was like, okay, I'm going to make a good video with what I have, rather than like try and make a video in the old way. I was like, what have I got around me? So like you can see my microphone in it. Thank you very much, Sasagirion, for that super chat. Oh, you used this one in class? Okay, cool. Yeah, I decided I'm gonna make this one with what I've got lying around. So that's why you can like see my microphone in shot, and it's filmed in my living room, and parts of it are filmed in my bedroom. Yeah, so that was fun. And hanging a curtain by my old bookcase. I stole my flatmate's shirt. So yeah, that was yeah, and it came together well. I think this one is hey Owen, thanks, cool. I'm glad you got the t-shirt. And hello John the Duncan. Yeah, I was pleased with this one because it was hard to make a video about anti-Semitism and like make it funny, but I do think thank you Devin Golder, I do think this video is funny and like does keep your attention, and is like a good well-structured video essay, and it also like touches on some like it touches on Israel-Palestine, and like I've never seen any video essay that's do that in a way that isn't like whoa. So I'm pretty proud of this one, and I did pay Jewish script consultants. The costume was a hell of a challenge. Like that was me, my makeup skills like really leveled up in the course of preparing this look. It was hard, but it was like a steep learning curve. I was like, I'm gonna use this to like ramp up my makeup skills, and it worked well, I think. Yeah. But yeah, the costume was hard. It was a long night of filming this one. When I was during the pandemic, I had to film all the sections in my living room overnight. I didn't go to the studio during the day. I had to wait until it was quiet outside and the street was quiet and film it. And there's a bus that used to go past my old flat every 10 minutes, so I had to keep stopping and starting. So it was a real pain in the arse to film this one, but it did come together well, and it did work. And I thought it was like, oh, and Drivel was in it. Oh, we love to see Drivel. Doing a call out of Karl Marx. And I think like aesthetically this one works. Like I like that it goes from being black and white to like slightly faded out to much more to like very, very colourful. So as we get closer to the modern day. So there's something I'm quite proud of, which is that even though this is about anti-Semitism, there aren't that many like right-wing chud comments underneath, and it's done well. It's got like 845,000 views, and it's done all right. The comment section is not too toxic, and the reason for that is I deliberately planned this. I was like, right-wing chuds they will watch like the first 2 minutes of it, and then as soon as they see me dressed as a woman, they're like, I'm not watching this shit. I'm not watching this shit for 55 minutes. I'm out. And so they don't bother. And I'm like, there we go. Also, there's a cover of the Internationale at the end, which I love. So yeah. And I like that this was a continuation of the An Analysis series. So I did transphobia analysis and then anti-Semitism and analysis. I want to do Islamophobia and analysis next year. It's on my list. So we'll see. Thank you, Alex Harry. That's nice. Yeah, I thought this one was good, and I am proud of this one. I think so far, this one's winning for me. Mainly because of the email I got from that old lady. I cried. I was like, that's what makes it all worth it. Before we move on to the next one, let's have another question from a patron. June Burney, who asks, do you have any helpful advice for appearing natural and relaxed on camera when reading from a script? Yeah. Oh, I'll answer that in a second. But first of all, hello, Big Joel. Hey, good to have you here, my friend. Hey, I tell you what, Big Joel, let me give you the power of the hammer. I give you the power. You are now a moderator. Enjoy. Use your powers wisely. I, Odin Allfather, grant you the power. Boom. So hey, good to have you here. I've been enjoying your videos lately, Big Joel. I enjoy the School of Life. I cannot comment on the School of Life because it would break the Philosophy Tube code. Yes, the Philosophy Tube Jutsu, the Scuba code. I cannot break it. But I have been enjoying your videos about Alain de Botton, the world's most divorced man, or possibly second most. I will not comment on who the most divorced person is. But Joel knows, and I know, and I'm pretty sure Mia knows as well. So, yeah, Joel, I've been enjoying your videos. It's good. Oh yeah, June Burney asks, do you have any helpful advice for appearing natural and relaxed on camera when reading from a script? Yeah, learn your lines. That's the main bit. That's what I do, is I learn my lines. And then I don't have to worry about forgetting them, and that just like, it's just easy. You can just vibe at that point. I'll tell you this, right? I was once, it was at my graduation. I was hanging out with a bunch of philosophers, like real ones. And somebody brought up the School of Life, and the look on my philosophy tutor's face was like, Alain. I was just like, I didn't say that. Kyle, thank you for that super chat. That's really, really kind of you. Hey, Alice Quinrose is here as well. Hello there. I like to go on a date, order fish fingers from the kids menu, look my date right in the eye and say, does this intrigue you? Alain de Botton. World's most divorced man. We love to see it. We love to see it, don't we, folks? Don't we just love to see it? Oh wow, hey, there's 1,200 people here. Good to have you here. That's a good crowd for a live stream on a Thursday night as well. We love it. Good to have you all here. Hey, I tell you what, I read a script that Alice is preparing for next year today. I read one of Alice's scripts, so if you are not already clued into Alice Quinrose's channel, go check it out, because she's got a damn good video essay in the works. I'm liking this background music, by the way. Are you liking it? Let's move on. What came next? It was... next was Charles Darwin versus Karl Marx, the second most popular video of the year, by numbers anyway. This one, I'm really pleased with this one. Hey, Dr. Jane Goodall. good to have you on the show. Goodbye, though. I was very happy with this one because I was using the constraints of the pandemic. I still had to film it all myself and film it in my flat and also the woods. But I had this idea. I was like, people are really gonna want to like go outside and see the great outdoors. And I thought, go on, why don't I make something that is like structurally a little bit different? It's a little bit like BBC. It's almost like, I'm going on a journey of discovery into the woods, and I'm walking and I'm explaining things. And I liked this one. Again, it was kind of like flexing my muscles a bit, seeing what else I could do. Thank you very much, Victoria Lucas, for that super chat. Yeah, I was kind of like flexing my muscles on this one, being like, I'm going to do something structurally different. There's a bit of science in there, so I'm like explaining the theory of evolution, like, so not philosophy, not my wheelhouse. So that was fun. It was cool to like talk about Darwin. I read a biography of Darwin, and I was like, shit, this would be an amazing episode of Philosophy Tube. And also there's like some Marxism in it, and then as I was writing, I was like, okay, this is cool. It needs something to bump it up. It needs like, it just needs that like extra layer to be like an all-time great. Because like structurally it's good, the content is good. I was like, it just needs something else. And I realized what that something else was this. I was like, oh, I know, like I need like a damn good look. So I created this like Malthusian death mask basically. And I don't know, it's like the planets aligned and the lighting in this section, I'm terrible at lighting normally, but I don't know what I did in this one. The lighting in this bit is just beautiful, like perfect. We love to see it, like, oh, gorgeous. When I saw the footage back, I was like, oh, maroon, oh, beautiful. So that one was really, really cool. I do think it's a little long. There's about 10 minutes that got cut out, actually. If you're a patron, you can see the deleted scenes, which includes me talking about eugenics in a white South African accent, which is very funny. I was doing South African accents months before Milo was. Devon Golder says, yeah, this one feels like Master and Commander. You're like, we're hanging out in nature. Yes, like that was the whole idea, was like to make a video in nature. I think the bits about religion are a little short. They're a little like brief. So I could probably have left that out. I think this stuff, the bit about like Herbert Spencer, the laissez-faire stuff, that I think is where the real meat comes in. I could probably have gotten into that earlier. So I think the script is maybe a little long, a little unfocused. The arsonist section is a good one. I think it's one of my favorite arsonist monologues because there's just like so much going on. And also he's like, I think this is the scariest arsonist monologue because he's quite true to life. A lot of people wrote to me after this monologue came out and were like, I've met people like this is scarily realistic. So that one, I think this one really, really came together well. Yeah, it was fun. People said, what did you say in your South African accent? I was talking about how like the South African apartheid government used eugenics on white people. So they were being racist, but to white people in order to be more racist to black people. They're like, we need to do eugenics to the white population so that they're not so stupid that they get like overthrown by like black people. So it was like, so I had this joke about like, this is advanced level racism right here, man. We're gonna start being racist to white people, but then they tell us we can be even more racist to the black people. I call it racism squared. And that was the whole joke, but it was too long and it ended up getting cut. Jerk van der Klerk. Oh, and also this one was thank you Sam Quinn for that super chat. This I like. There's a bit of like arsonist lore in this one. So yeah, this one was fun. I think this one is a personal fave because again in this one, I think anti-Semitism and analysis are like started using my flat and using the pandemic stuff to my advantage, and this is the one where I was like getting good at it, and I was like really getting in a groove, and using the pandemic to make kind of better content really, and and I also started this was where I first started using After Effects to animate quotes onto the screen, which again just adds. It's a nice little thing, because a lot of people use quotes in like video essays and stuff, and often, and me as well, I used to just like smash cut to it, just like text on a screen, and I thought, well, how can I just bump that, just add another layer of polish to it, and I thought I'll use After Effects and I will learn how to animate stuff onto the screen, and that works really well. I'm proud that I learned how to do that. It was good. Yeah, so I'm pleased with that, and it was a nice sponsorship. And also, if you remember, the video was sponsored, and I donated the money. Again, I still can't say how much that was, but I donated it to the Knights and Orchids Society, who are a black LGBT organization in the US, because this was coming out like when the George Floyd uprising was really at its peak. So I was able to do like a bit of good with this video as well, which was nice. It was good. Yeah, it was nice. I was pleased with that. Somebody says, how did you make the newspapers in the arsonist section? There's just like a website where you can just have like fake newspapers printed. So this shot here is actually filmed in my, two of my flatmates got stuck outside of London during COVID, and I was like, can I film in your bedroom? And they're like, yeah, all right. So this is me like sat against their wardrobe at a really like odd angle, trying to like get everything in the shot. So that was fun. Yeah. Yeah, that was a really nice. Yeah, I think this one came together well. I'm pleased with this one. It's like a personal fave. So next came Logic, which I don't know. I'm not. So Logic was made. Logic was made as I was moving flats, which is a hell of an experience. Like, so I kind of had to make it with a week less time than I normally do. And I think that shows. I think that it's good. It's the best I could have done under the circumstances, but like as Philosophy Tube videos go, it's not the strongest. It's pretty bog standard. I mean, it is my unique creative voice in that no one else could have done a 10-minute unbroken one-shot monologue of Julius Caesar's speech from the Catalan conspiracy. So I guess I'm like kind of proud of it in that sense. I don't think the acting was super good. Good makeup job on Caesar though, you know, kind of a bit of a Mussolini fake tan vibe. But I think the rest of it I can take or leave. I think the rest of it was a little dull, if I'm perfectly honest. I thought, you know, all of this stuff about like analyzing arguments in standard form, I think you could very easily have gotten that from half a dozen other channels. I don't think it was my best. This one, it's not a fave. Because I had to just make it. I had to make it quick. I have wanted to do an episode for a while on Logic and standard form and stuff because I thought it would be useful. And to be honest, I'm surprised how much love there has been for this episode, because like, I mean, there are some bits of it that are like good. So I think all the jokes along the bottom of the screen here, which you probably can't see all that well, they're fun. That's good. Hi Nina, good to have you here. A whole gang's here tonight. Yeah, Italian James Bond. Yeah, that's a good joke. But even like the Italian James Bond joke, like, I do not think it's a little obvious that I'm like setting up at the start and then I bring it back at the end as like, I need to put a button on this video because I've got to go and pack. Like, yeah. the apology to Italy, yeah. What makes good acting, says Corey Brown. I don't know. I think it's pretty subjective, if I'm perfectly honest. Because I saw a play the other night that like the acting was good, but like just didn't like the play. So vowels is what makes good acting. Hold on to your vowels. Mitchell Phillips says, we stan Emo Caesar. Alice liked this video as well. James O'Bondini. Yeah, that was funny. I enjoyed that. Thank you, Nathaniel Decker, for the super chat. Yeah, I was surprised by how much love there is for this. Nathaniel Decker says they use it in class as a teacher. Okay, like, I am surprised at that. I don't think the acting in this one is great. It's like fine, because I mean, I basically like learned this speech 10 minutes before I did it, because I didn't have a lot of time to prepare. And I just think this video has the marks for me of something that has been a little bit rushed because I had to make it in 3 weeks. I mean, good use of the shiny background though. Like, I was really, so this is actually the same shiny background that I used in Darwin vs. Marx, just lit differently, and you can, and it's this one actually, you can make it completely different colors depending on the angles that you shine the lights through. So yeah, this one's not my favorite. I think it's probably my least favorite of the year, but it's not bad. It's just I just have to make it in, just have to make it quite quick, you know. And I think it shows the marks of its too hasty and belabored birth. Yeah. And then we come to Who's Afraid of the Experts, which, if I'm honest, I notice is my least viewed video of the year. Although, like, you can't really sort of compare it, because, like, the longer they've been out, the more views they tend to get. Like, my videos tend to have quite a long shelf life. And like, even, you know, 2 or 3 years later, they'll like break 1 million, they'll get reshared again. So, well, it's not everything, but God, that was 3 months ago. It feels like longer. So Who's Afraid of the Experts? It was very, very cool of Adam Conover to come on. I've wanted to work with Adam for a while, and I was really, really like, I'm quite honored that he came on the show. Because I have enjoyed his work, and like, I think he's cool. So it was very cool to have him on. And I'm surprised that I'm surprised that like this one didn't take off bigger. I'm surprised it didn't hit harder. I don't know if it was because maybe I didn't premiere this one or something. Like, I don't know what it was. It had like a strong, I think maybe it might have been the title. Because it's just not really immediately obvious what it's about. I think aesthetically, hey, thank you for that super chat, Mark Cypher. I think aesthetically, I'm really proud of this one. The crystal ball, having things projected inside the crystal ball was really good. I thought it had some really nice transition editing between the different sections. I thought it had good jokes. Like, I'm proud of this. This one is my sleeper hit. If you haven't seen this one, like, go back and watch it, because I'm proud of this one. I'm proud of having made it. This was my first one back in the studio. After expertise is what I should have called it. Yeah, maybe something like that. The music in this one that Nina made was banging. And yeah, I thought like I don't know why it's underperformed. It like you know, it's got a good aesthetic, it's got good music, it's a really interesting topic, it's got a good like story structure to it. Izzy James says, I think the cutting back and forth between you and the interview didn't help. I disagree, because I did that in Sex Work and that has over 1 million views. Like, I don't know what this was. I don't know, maybe did this clash with something else going on in the world? Like, was this when Rona was really taking off in the US? I don't know. I don't know what it was, but this one just like didn't quite get as much purchase as I would have liked it to. But I'm proud of it. Like, I have a place for it in my heart. I think it's interesting. I really enjoyed working with Adam. I'm proud of the visuals. Like, it came together. It came together in an interesting way. Like, it's something I've wanted to make a video on for a long time. And yeah, as like Nina said, the experts, the song, the credit song in that is banging. I think it was the title. I think it wasn't my best title. Yeah, I think I just tried to get too fancy with the title. Just like there's like basic stuff. I think maybe also I don't know if I like put it in the right category or something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but I was pleased with this one. I thought it went well. Now we're getting into the recent stuff. Do I have any more Patreon questions? Oh, but first, yeah, let's take a Patreon question from Jackie Davison, who asks me, what pathways do you see, if any, to reunification in Britain when it comes to Brexit? I don't know what you mean by reunification. Do you mean like Irish reunification? In which case, like, it's up to the people of Ireland, but maybe. Reunification with like Brexiteers? I don't know. I doubt it. Reunification with the EU? No, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen, at least for another generation, whatever AC Grayling says. Yeah, slim, I think, are the chances of that. Yeah. So, yeah. That was Who's Afraid of the Experts. But next was Confucius. So this one, I've had a troubled relationship with this one because I challenged myself. Said Nigel Pitts. I wanted to do regular contributor to national newspapers for no discernible reason. I have wanted to do a video about Confucius for years, and people have been asking me to do one about Confucius for years. I'd never read any Confucius before this video. I had never studied him at university, and I thought, go on, I want to throw myself in at the deep end and do something I've never done before. Paul Freak says, I'm trying to make content like you and Natalie. Any advice? Don't. Make content like you. Don't make content like anyone else. That way lies madness. So, yeah, I wanted to throw myself in at the deep end and make just research something I'd never studied before. See how much I could learn in a month. And I didn't premiere this one, and this one was the first time I ever got one of those, because every time you upload a video, YouTube gives you a little like report on it. And this one was the first time I ever got the red report that said this video is underperforming, and I was like, shit. And I spent a whole day like panicking and calling like a bunch of YouTuber friends and be like, God, this is the beginning of the end, and like, I don't know what I'm doing. And like Tom Scott was like, calm down, this happens all the time, like it's fine. So I didn't premiere it, and it underperformed. At least it underperformed for the first 24 hours, which is what YouTube bases the report on. But then something amazing happened. Adam Curtis voice. But then something happened. Over the next month, the video came back, like it was climbing back, because this video, I think, clashed with not with the US, it clashed with like the build-up to the US election. It was really like competing for people's attention with, wasn't there like some big thing that happened like around about this time, just before the election? And over the month, it came back, and the red numbers changed to green, and now YouTube was like, wait, no, actually it's fine, it's normal. So I had like a troubled relationship with this one. I really spent about 24 hours beating myself up about this one, being like, shit. And then actually, now I'm actually quite pleased with it. When you say you didn't premiere it, what does that mean? Says Crazy Wool Lady. YouTube has a premiere feature that allows you to like watch it when it comes out for the first time. You watch it with a chat, and that usually gets like a few extra 1,000 views in the first 24 hours, which just gives it an algorithmic, nudge, which is good. Thank you, Simulated Chloe, for that super chat. Oh, it was Trump getting COVID. That's what it clashed with. Yeah, so there you go. And it's a topic that like not a lot of people were clamoring for at that particular moment in history. But the upside of that is that it's quite timeless, and you can keep coming back to it. And I think it's also a good, if you're going to send somebody a first Philosophy Tube video, this would be a good one. So yeah, I was pretty pleased with it in hindsight. I thought it was funny. I thought like the structure of it is good. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's a tight 34 minutes. It tells like a nice little story. I filmed some of it around about the place in London, and that came together well too. Like, yeah, I was pretty pleased with it. And Nigel Piss was the breakout character of the year. People really like Nigel Piss. Will K, thank you for that super chat. The British, by their nature, loathe tyranny, which is why the House of Lords is completely unelected. And also the electric brain. People really liked that for some reason. And the dictionary joke, which was that's one of my favorite things I've written in a long time, was the dictionary joke. Smart flowing thinking electric meat. I liked the dictionary joke. I genuinely found all this stuff about like Zhong and Shu and translation. I found that to be really very interesting. Thank you very much to Fire Gen 1 for that super chat. The Chinese never had a secular enlightenment. Yeah, the dictionary joke. The arc of the dictionary joke was good fun too. I liked that one. Never had a secular enlightenment, which is why we have to teach them about the greatest Englishman of all time, Jesus. So yeah, I was pleased that this video was funny. I had a really fun time making it. Like, it was just really good to be back in the studio. So when we did Experts, that was quite a tricky day to film, and yeah, it was a hard day to film, but Confucius, like an easy street, easy film. Everything went smoothly. It's an easy shot. It's like easy costume, but not like bad easy. It just like came together well, and like we had great fun in the studio. Like we had like having fun with the jokes and stuff. It was really it was just a good time all around. I had a lot of fun making this one, and I'm pleased with it. I think this is up there with personal faves for me, because it was just like tried something new, and like I thought it worked well. It had the energy of like a classic philosophy. It had the energy of the one about the Queen. This is like, it's a little bit silly, it's a little bit wild, but we're also like learning stuff, and by the end you're like, oh shit, I learned some shit. So yeah, that was good fun, and I like I said, I did genuinely find all the stuff about translation and language very interesting to learn. When I read that, I was like, ooh, that's kind of cool. Is it really a goo? Malak, don't head over to the Trash Future live stream. Stay here. Yeah, this one was cool. I like this one. And then we come to last month's Amy Coney Barrett. Yeah, this one was a spiritual successor to Steve Bannon. The opening was like a very clear homage to the Steve Bannon episode. I thought this one was okay. Like, it was very cool of Legal Eagle to be in it. I don't think this one quite measures up to Steve Bannon in terms of like doing something. I don't know why it's not in HD. Let's get that in glorious HD. I'm still connected to the right Wi-Fi. Yes, I am. Yeah, I thought this one, I don't think it was quite up there with Steve Bannon. It was cool. It didn't have like a great big musical number or like quite have a strong an aesthetic as Steve Bannon. And I think the baseline aesthetic, like what we're seeing now, was could have been thought through better. Like this was one where the costume came together like very much at the last minute. Is there any way to get Nina's remix of I'm Afraid of Americans from this video? No, because you heard all of it. She didn't do the whole thing. She just did that one bit that you heard. So it's not a whole one. Yeah, people are saying that's more of a comment about how good the Steve Bannon video was. Yeah, I think that's fair. Like that was a yeah, this one was fun. I enjoyed it. So after the Confucius one, I think I kind of like overcorrected, because after the Confucius one I was like, ah shit, like people don't want to read about Confucius, like what's going on in the world now? Like what's happening now? So I went to a bunch of news websites and like looked at what was on the front page, and it was all Amy Coney Barrett and Supreme Court. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a video about Amy Coney Barrett. So I kind of like pushed myself. Yeah, I kind of pushed myself a little bit to do a video about something that like I wasn't like super interested in before I started researching. But I think I still did a good job with it. Like, it's good fun. I think it is like, as a dissection of originalism, I think it's quite good. Like, I think it's like, oh, I did get a lot of people writing to me being like, hey, like, this is interesting. Like, thank you for teaching me about this. Like, I feel like I learned something. No, people in the chat saying, is it rushed? No, I don't think it's rushed. I think the costume was a little rushed. Aesthetically, it was, because the research phase I remember for this one was really long and difficult, because I had to read a lot of legal theory and a lot of actual cases. So the research was hard. Using a single court case as a lens for analysis says only uke that matters. Yeah, that like structurally, it had a good story to it. A little bit like the Charles Darwin one. Yeah. It was nice. Drivel came back. Scutch did some amazing art. Amy Coney Barrett, please respond. Drivel is now Drivel's now my most used character. So yeah, Drivel's the most popular character on the show. Oh, that's interesting. Danny says, my introduction to Philosophy Tube was the Amy Coney Barrett video, and it was a wild impression of the channel overall. Yeah, I suppose it's not hugely friendly to first-time viewers. I'd tell you what, the imagery of the horse, Dr. Bucephalus, like, the horses, I did think was an interesting... it was an interesting aesthetic, and I do think it, like, works artistically. The haggis was fun. It's like the haggis is like a good recurring joke that again also gives it structure. Drivel's been in chat, help me out. How many videos has Drivel been in? Drivel first appeared in Is Philosophy Just White Guys Jerking Off? He was in Anti-Semitism and Analysis. He's in Steve Bannon. He's got a voice cameo in Steve Bannon, and he's in this one, so that's 4. Whereas the Arsonist has been in Steve Bannon, came back in the abortion one, he's in Climate Grief, and he's in Charles Darwin versus Karl Marx. Drivel's definitely been in one more. I forget what the other one is. But yeah, Drivel's been used several times. Oh, and Drivel was in the housing market one as well. He was. That was good fun. So yeah, I think. Okay, so people are saying they took constitutional law classes and they found this video useful. All right, well that's good to know at least. Yeah. So yeah, I think this one was like good but not great. And next we have, I'm trying to figure out how can I show you this video, because I'm now logged into Philosophy Tube Live, so I'm trying to show you a preview of my next video, but I don't think I can actually do that without logging out of the YouTube account that I am streaming from, which will cause enormous problems. So I don't know about that. But I want to show you. I should be able to show you a preview at least. Do I have? Oh, I know how I can. I know how I can do it. Give me a second here. Let me go to my. Am I in the right window? Yes, I am. Hang on a minute. Let me double check. So I will now show you a little bit of my next video. I'll just give you a little cheeky look at it. Just because you're here on the stream. And if you wanna see all of it before it comes out, then you sign up to my Patreon for $15 a month, and then you get it. So here we go. Let me pull it up here. Go to view on youtube.com. Okay, cool. So we are going into the secret. Stand by. Hello, Casey. Stand by for mind control. Here we go. Secret video time. Okie dokie. Yes. Let me get to the title screen. Okay. Now I can show you a little peek at the final video of the year and the final video of Philosophy Tube Season 2. Here it is. This one is currently only out for $15 patrons. There it is. It's called Work, and it's about, as it says, the 5 jobs that I had before YouTube, and like what I learned about work from each one. So there's a lot of David Graeber in there. I read Bullshit Jobs in order to make this. I think in terms of so I used November and December's budget to make this video, and as a consequence, like, I got an amazing location to film in. I hired like this incredible rundown haunted house in North London to film in, and it looks gorgeous. And also I did some incredible I did some really good work with the editing. So the whole thing has a Christmas Carol theme to it, and I'm Jacob Marley, and I edited myself to like make myself transparent like a ghost. When you see it moving, it's even better. Like I'm like ghostly, and I leave trails and stuff, and you can like see the chair through me. So yeah, I talk a little bit about like emotional labor, and also about, look at that chair, it's so good. And also about bullshit jobs, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Wait, what? Oh, hang on a second. Oh yeah, shit. Well, I'll just have to. This stream won't be archived. Shit. Sorry, I don't know if I can cover the link. How do I do that? I'll just. Oh wow. I mean, like. How do I hide the link? I don't know how to hide it. I don't know how to do that. Anyway, I just won't archive this stream. Too bad. Nobody look at that. Nobody look at that. I choose not to see it. How do I don't know how to. I don't think I can actually do that. Without like hiding stuff off the screen. Oh, I can full screen it. But then I. See, I can't do that. It's literally impossible to do. Wait, I might actually, maybe I can. No, I can't. Well, whatever. Oh yes, I can scrap a screen share on OBS. Haha, good thinking, Alice. You're a genius. You're a genius, Alice. I'll just sneakily do this. Haha. And now. Haha! Now you cannot see it. Haha! Genius. Well done, Alice. Well done, Alice. This is just gonna have to be a forbidden stream. Yeah, don't worry. I'll just unlist the stream. Nobody look at that. You'd have to like go and type it in anyway. I mean, come on. This isn't a true forbidden stream because we don't have the other person who has to be on a forbidden stream in order for it to be forbidden, or any alcohol. It's not a true forbidden stream unless booze and somebody else is present, and then it's forbidden. Well done, Alice. Anyway, yes, this is the final video of the year. About all the jobs I used to have before I became a YouTuber, and just the location, like the house is just really beautiful, and we just got some like really cool shots of like the fireplace and like the ghostly chair and stuff, and it has another YouTuber in it doing a voice cameo, so I won't tell you who it is, but all of these sections are read by another YouTuber who's kind of cool. I'm glad to have them in it. Yes. Oh well, no one's gonna watch all the way through the stream anyway. It's fine. It'll be whatever. It'll be a little Christmas present. Like, it's fine. You have to work pretty hard to watch this. So like whatever. So oh yeah, I do have a man bun in this because Dickens says that Jacob Marley has a ponytail, so I had a ponytail. And like the chains and stuff. It was good fun. Yeah, you can watch it, but give me $15, right? If you're going back to watch this early, just send us 15 quid and we'll call it. It'll be fine. Yeah, it'll be out in a week anyway. Don't worry about it. Because you'll miss the premiere, and the premiere will be fun. As you can see, it's 46 minutes long. And also, The Vampire Economist is back, which is good fun. That's gonna be fun. I like The Vampire Economist, and these shots are just gorgeous. Like, this bit is so fun. I had a lot of fun with this whole thing. Yeah, the whole Vampire Economist section is really, really good. And came together like came together really well. That face. Yeah, this whole section like is really, really good, and it's got good jokes. The video also gets like appropriately serious at certain points. And it's also really nice to like end the year looking back on what my life was before YouTube, because this is the final. I'm not really doing anything like a send-off, but this is the final episode of Philosophy Tube Season 2. And when the show comes back in the new year, like, there's gonna be some changes. So it was kind of cool to have this episode be like a really solid episode that also like looks back on sort of my life before this point in a way. So yeah, that's nice. He's on his phone. So yeah, it is nice. It has come together well. Yeah, the eyebrow makeup there was good. So it's not really like a season finale in the sense that like anything, big sort of happens in it. It's just like there will be changes in next year's show, and that's gonna be cool. Like, so it's nice to have this one be the last, to have like something a little that just looks a little beautiful. I like it. What makes YouTube videos separated into seasons, says Skitty Blackfire. So for me, season 1 is everything from the start of the channel to my video on Hegel. And then there's like a bit of changeover between Hegel and then Elon Musk is the official beginning of season 2, which is everything from Elon Musk until this. And then next year is season 3. yeah, I'm starting to plan the first episode of season 3, and it's gonna be. I'm excited. It's gonna be like nothing you've ever seen. I'm so excited. It's exactly the kind of thing I enjoy making. Is the thing that like no one else has ever thought of, no one else has ever done. I don't think I've ever seen anyone else do this in a YouTube video, like what I have planned for the opening of season 3, and I am excited. Yeah. Nina's writing the music. I've got someone on the animation. I've got someone lined up as like a cast member. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. I'm excited, baby. That's all the preview you're getting of the end of season 2, because we're not in season 3 yet. We've still got one more episode to go, and it's a good one. So yeah. It's gonna be cool. It's going to be very, very cool. I'm liking this music. People are saying, will the characters stay? I mean, I don't know. I don't have like all of season 3 planned out. I've got like the opening of it planned, and then I don't really know where I'm going to go after that. I've got a few like videos I want to do for next year. Thank you very much, Dernside. That's cool of you to donate. Yeah, I don't have it all planned out. I've got a list of videos that I want to like maybe do for next year, like maybe list. But what I will do is at some point in the next couple of days, I will do my end of year Patreon post, which is always public, by the way, where I talk about like what's happened this year, what I've got planned roughly for next year, like episodes I want to do. And also I talk about like the channel's finances. I give like a public roundup of the financial situation at the end of every year, including like charity and stuff. Yeah, and we'll talk about that. Oh, thank you, Evan Robbins, for that super chat. That's cool. Yeah. So, I still need to write. I still need to write the pilot for season 3. I've got like I know a rough idea of where I want it to go. I've like written the second half of it, but I need to like write the first half. So yeah, season 3. Who boy, like it's been a long time in the works for season 3. Like I've been prepping for it. It's gonna be cool. Would you do a video debunking Keynesian economics? I don't know enough about it really. I think it's probably been done. Yeah, it's kind of been done. We'll see. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. It's been, as I say, it's been in the works for a while, and it's time to change seasons, I think. VTuber era. That would be cool. That would be cool if I just became a VTuber. Yeah. I tell you what, though, we're knocking on the door of 800,000 subscribers. We are, what are we? 797,000. So we're probably going to hit 800,000 at some point in the next couple of days. Certainly by the end of the year. Thank you for that super chat, Joe 4422. So yeah, we're gonna get there. 800,000 is like wild. Yes, I am going to take some time off. Don't worry. I'm going to take the rest of December off, and then I'm going to start like writing the opening of season 3 in January. I'm going to try not to write any of it until January comes. But there are some things I'm going to like, you know, I'll like prepare for. I need like scout locations, and as I say, I've got cast members lined up. 2021 is the year you hit 1 million, says Joshua Kelly. It might well be. I remember saying when we hit 500,000, I was like, when I get to 1 million, I'll retire. And I'm like, shit, retirement's starting to creep up. And I'm like, I'm not done. I don't want to go yet. I don't want to overstay my welcome either. So we'll see. I've got pretty big plans about what I want to do with my life in 2021. Thank you, James Taliaferro. Yeah, as I say, I've got plans about what I want to do with my life in 2021. I finished writing a play recently. A play that I've been like trying to write for years. And I finished it over lockdown too, because I finally went back to it and I was like, A, parts of this are pretty good, and B, I was like, oh, Oh, I finally know what this play is about now. I can finish it, so I finished it. Hello, AB. Thank you for that super chat. Yeah. Yeah. So I want to see if I can put on that play somewhere. That would be good. Depending on, like, you know, what's happening with theatre with COVID. Will there be a season 3 premiere? No. The first episode of season 3 will not be available early for patrons. It's going to be premiered at the same time for everyone, because that's the best way to, like, bam, kick it off. Thank you, DJ NY, for that super chat. So it'll be out same time for everyone, and we'll just go for it. But yes, we may well. Thank you for the super chats. We might hit 1 million subs in the new year, which is pretty freaking wild. And yeah, I finally finished my play, and I'm like, every time I read it, I'm usually pretty harsh on myself when I write stuff, but when I read my play, I reread it, and I'm like, huh, you know, there's parts of this that are actually pretty good, you know. I'm pretty pleased with it. I'd like to put it on. What's your advice to an actor fresh out of college, says DPOAS? A lot of acting classes don't prepare you for the business side of being an actor. No, they don't. My drama school did very much, fortunately. Make your own work. Make your own work would be my main advice. Don't sit around waiting to be cast in other people's stuff. Like, try and do what we have tried to do with Dracula and make your own show. But people in the chat are asking, how's Dracula going? I can't talk about it right now, I'm afraid. Yeah, I wish I could, but I cannot discuss that at the moment. Thank you, Colin, for that super chat. Why don't we hang out for another 10 minutes? Because we've been going 90 minutes so far. But yeah, this baffles me how you haven't already passed 1 million. I mean, it's not really about the subs. Like, to be honest, like everything, as I've said before to many YouTubers, anything between 100,000 and 250,000, that's the sweet spot. Everything after that is weird. So I'm not really. It would be cool to hit 1 million, like, because I get a gold play button. But like, I'm not gonna stress about it. Like, I try not to think about subs and views all that much, to be honest. Is there any way we could ever see the play that you've written? I mean, I'm going to try and have it put on in London, like, if I can find the right venue for it. And it's quite a lot of work to put on a play. But I feel like if you build it, they will come. I feel like if I put on a play, like, I've got an audience who'd probably want to come see it. And it's like, I can't tell you what it's about, but it's like, it's a fucking good topic. I'm like, ooh, yeah. And again, it's like something that no one's ever really done before. And that's exactly the kind of thing that I love making, is like, shit's like, whoa, like, no one's ever tried to do anything like this. So yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Oh, damn, this music's cool. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I was pretty proud of the play. Will you bring it to the USA? No, it wouldn't work in the USA. Do you find it difficult to not think about subs and views? Sometimes. I'm going to put that song on again. I really liked it. Sometimes, you know, it's like you get stressed and I have to remind myself. So maybe. Would there be a way to see the play online? Potentially. This one probably would work. We could not have recorded Dracula, but you could, in theory, record this one. Thank you, Colin Huddle, for that super chat. So maybe. Yeah, I'm not going to commit to it because I'm not even sure if it's going to be anything at the moment, because it might be that, like, you know, in June or July theaters still can't open. But yeah, we'll see. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say yes either. Would you want to act in it? Yes, I've written a role for myself in the play. What do you think of bootlegs of live theatre? I think you're getting an inferior experience, and I also think you should not record people against their consent ever, especially not in a theatre. Like, you're just ruining it for yourself and everyone else. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with my play, but whatever happens, I'm proud that I've written it. I go back and I read parts of it now. I'm like, huh, cool. Like, well written. Especially because it's taken me like a couple of years to figure out what it's really about. Thank you for that super chat, Ned's Tvinde. Int. I'm not sure. Thank you for that super chat anyway. We'll see. Well, people say there's zero chance that live large group events will be running by July. It depends what you mean by large. If you mean like 1,000, then yes, but that's very big for a play anyway. An audience of 250, 300, you'd get away with that. I bet you could. Would a UK tour be feasible? I mean, that's not something that I have the power to organise. That would depend on theatres. So I think the goal would be to get it up in London first and then see what kind of waves we can make with it, if anything. Also, like, it's a lot of work to put on and be in a play. Thank you very much, Alex Harry, for that super chat. And to Olivia Yeats as well. And in terms of all people are asking like how much will tickets be, like I've no idea. It depends on the venue and also on like I've not sat down and done any budgeting yet for the play. And like if I can get a production company or like donors on board, then that totally changes the whole of it. Versus if I'm like self-funding it. Yeah, I'm either way. Like I'm proud to have made it, and I think it is good. It is a good script. It's good shit. Would you consider releasing a script? I mean, if we put the play on, I'd probably sell like paper copies of it at the box office. Yeah, why not? We'll see. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It was a nice thing to finally finish. Like, yeah, sick. I don't know why I'm hanging out up in the corner here. Hey, down here again. Yeah. So yeah, that'd be pretty sick. I'd quite like to put that on in 2021. Plays are expensive, especially for a cast of 8 or 9. I think it's 9. Would you ever write a movie? I mean, if somebody gave me a truckload of money to write a film, I'd take a crack at it. It's not my area of expertise. I could try. I could maybe like script doctor someone else's script. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Skinny Blackfly says, before the pandemic, did you meet a lot of your followers in real life? Yes, I was recognized pretty much every time I left the house. Now, because of masks, not so much. Which is kind of cool. I did get recognized the other night though, which was alarming. Lulu Minati, thank you for that super chat. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how we would fund the play. I mean, if we can get a production company on board or like donors and stuff, then that'd be great. Otherwise, like I can crowdfund or I can privately funding it. We'll see what we can do. It depends on the theatre. The first step will be finding a theatre for it. I've got a list of theatres that I want to approach in the new year, and say like, hey, here's me and here's my script, and like, there's actually. There are some theatres that like you can just go to and just pitch them stuff. So the thing with London theatre is like an iceberg in that 90% of it is underwater. So like there's sort of 9 or 10 of like the big theatres where like only commercially viable shows get put on, and no one's really sure how you get a show on there. You just kind of have to like know someone, or it like gets transferred from another theatre that's like done well regionally. But you can't just like approach them, even if you have a shit ton of money. You can't just go into them and like, hey, I want to hire the theatre, right? But then like there's like everything else, like where 90% of theatre in the city happens, where like you can just like say, hey, I want to hire, or hey, I want to like do a deal, like do Trump deals on them. Do you have any regular or daily creative practices? Says Christian Gregory. No, I don't. Yeah, so if I can, I'd like to get it on, and also like the only theaters where you're like eligible for awards and like recognition by like the theater world, and also like agents only really go to see shows in those theaters, and no one's like really sure how you get in there. So yeah, if I can get it on in one of those like top tier theaters, then that would be great. If not, then there's other options, like and also like the show has some fairly unique staging requirements, so there's only a handful of theaters where it like could be done, because I have like deliberately planned to stage it in an uncommon way, not the way that you would normally do a play. So yeah, there's only a handful of theaters where it could be done, so I'm just gonna like approach. There's like 5 theaters in the whole city that are capable of doing it, so I'll just approach all of them and say, hey, here's me, here's my play, what do you want? Riley Hubby says, are those theaters different from West End theaters? No, the West End theaters are like the big commercial ones, and then there's a few others that are like kind of attached to. They're not like in the West End, but they are like the Society of London theaters, and if you have to have a show on in one of those select few theaters in order to be eligible for like an Olivier Award. So the Olivier Awards are like the Oscars of theatre, but in order to be eligible, you have to have your play on in a very, very small select number of theatres in London. So it's like it's the Oscars of like 10 theatres. Yeah, we'll see. I'm like starting to think about who I might want to cast in it amongst people that I know or people whose work that I've seen. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Why don't we hang out for 5 more minutes? Let's get into the final sort of 5 or 10 minutes of the music here. Yeah. Do you want to act in films or just theatre? Says Coney. I mean, I'll act in anything. Anything that's going. I'll act in all of it. I love all of it. It's all fantastic. But yeah. If I can get this play up next year, that would be very cool. Because it's, as I say, I think it's something that no one's ever really done before, and I'm like, ooh, I'm proud of it. So yeah, that was 2020. That was the year of Philosophy Tube. That was Philosophy Tube in a year. What a year! Like, it's been an amazing year. I'm really proud. So I haven't talked about what my number one video was. Let's have a look. I think Anti-Semitism and Analysis is up there. It's up there. I think Charles Darwin versus Karl Marx, I think it's going to be one of those two. It's got to be either Anti-Semitism and Analysis or Charles Darwin versus Karl Marx. Ooh, I don't know, because it's hard to pick one. Is it? They're both good. I think that Darwin versus Marx is a better video. Like structurally and writing wise, I think it's better. I think in terms of like what I am most proud of, I think Anti-Semitism and Analysis is got to win. Like to plant the flag on that, to be the first video essayist to like make a big one about that, and to get that email from that lady who works at the Tree of Life Mosque Synagogue. Don't want to get those two confused. We're gonna walk into the wrong one. To get that email from the lady at the Tree of Life Synagogue was a special moment that I'll remember always. Data was good, and I'm proud I made it, but I think Anti-Semitism and Analysis, that's the one I'm most proud of this year. Yeah, to be the person who made that, and to be able to, like, when I made that, I was like, I've done some good in the world. I've used my special talent is I can read complicated things and explain them in a fun, simple way. Thank you very much, ColtsFan354, for that super chat. And I like really used my powers for good when I made that one. So I think that has to be that. I think it's probably like in terms of like favorite, I think of the year, I think those two tie. But I think in terms of what I'm most proud of, Anti-Semitism Analysis is going to be it. If someone was like, you know, what have you done? What have you done with your life this year? I'd be like, I made that, and I'm proud of it. Wow, what a career, what a year. So yeah, it's weird looking back at this year. It's been a hell of a year for the planet and also for me. Oxford comma, it's very like well, no one really knows really. It varies a lot. Yeah. What a year. How strange to look back on it. I think we started the year with just over 500,000, and now to be knocking on 800,000 as well. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. I think bottom of the pile for me is Logic. Followed by Beauty and Ugly Times. I'm sorry, I know it's people's faves, but nah, it's just don't like it. I think it's nah. And Logic too. I think they're both a bit mediocre. Yeah. And I suppose, like, where would I put Work, the next one? I think I'd put that pretty highly, actually. I think it would definitely be in like the top half. I'm pretty pleased with the next video that's going to be coming out. Again, it's doing different things narratively, but yeah, it's good. Aesthetically, it's really fun. I think I would put that up there, but like although like I'm pretty proud of the next one as well in terms of like message and like doing good. So I think yeah, that's good as well. Yeah. Wow, wild to look back on it. Thanks, Kelsling, for that super chat. It's been a hard year, I think. It's been a hard year for everyone. I'm really looking forward to going home. Like, I've not seen my family all year, not properly, and I'm looking forward to having a bit of a rest. And then, God alone knows what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen next year with season 3? Season 3 is gonna drop like a bombshell. It's gonna be wild. Yeah, you'll never see it coming. It's gonna be good. But yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud of everything I've done this year. Like, that's 10 very solid videos. Why wouldn't your play work in the States? Says DRPG. It's just because culturally it's quite British. It just is. Yeah, I am proud of everything I've achieved this year, both on the channel and off, actually. Yeah, it's been wild. Like, something that's like occurred to me recently is how much Philosophy Tube is like not really about me, and I really like that. I like that the channel is about ideas and learning and taking a certain attitude towards those things. And it's not really about me. It's not the me show. It's a show that I happen to make. And I'm quite proud of that. Like, I'm proud that it means something to people. There's something, a friend of mine who's a YouTuber said something to me a while ago. He was like, we were talking about our channels and he said, yeah, but you actually make stuff that has value. And I was like, what? Like, but it's true, I do. It's weird to like be able to kind of acknowledge that for the first time. To be like, even if I had to stop right now, I'd be like, you know what? That was good. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad that I made Philosophy Tube. Like, I think that it's a good thing in the world. I'm proud, and I'm also very grateful to all of you for allowing me to do this for as long as I have, and for as long as I'll continue to. I'm really humbled by the trust that people have put in me. I remember my dad said something to me when I made the sex work video last year. He was like, you know, people trust you to make that, and you must never squander that trust. And I was like, yeah, you're right, Dad, you know. When people trust you to tell their story, or they trust you to explain the forces that control their life, like that's a very special thing. That's why I think Anti-Semitism and Analysis was one of my favorites, because it's a powerful thing when an audience trusts you with that. Yeah. What are you? Well, we've got one more video to look forward to, and then season 3. I'm excited for it. I'm almost crying now. Anyway, I will say goodbye, and I'll say goodbye, and I'll see you next year. I'll see you in season 3. Well, I'll see you one more time before the end of the year for work, but I will. I'll say goodbye. I think as we're at the end of. Thanks for that super chat. No thanks. I don't speak French very well. A little bit, but I'll say goodbye. And I think as it's the end of season 2, I'll have a little bit of a bow, if it's all right with you. I'll just destroy my whole office here as I do. It has been it's been a pleasure. All right, I'll say goodbye before I start crying. Good night, and see you one more time for the final show of the year, and then I'll see you next year.